If he says he's trying but nothing ever changes, can you ask yourself, what is he actually trying to do? Because trying to control you and trying to respect you, those are not the same thing. A man can say, I'm working on it, or I want to be better, and still be abusive. Because what he's trying to do is keep you around. He's not trying to become a safe partner. He's trying to make sure you don't leave. And you hear it all the time, right? I'm doing my best. I just want us to be happy. God, you're never satisfied. I messed up, but I love you. None of those things are evidence of real change. They're evidence that he wants to shift the focus away from the impact of his behavior and back onto his intentions. Ironic that those are invisible, right? The goal isn't love. The goal is control. And when you start seeing it that way, a lot of things start to click and make sense. Now, I'm Lisa Sunny. I'm a toxic and abusive relationship expert, author, and creator of the Break and Rebuild method inside the Trauma Bond Recovery course. I talk about abuse really without sugarcoating it, because pretending it's miscommunication or just a joke or not that bad, it keeps women stuck. So hit subscribe if you're ready to stop falling for I'm trying. And real quick, don't get hung up on whether or not he's a narcissist, because that's not what this is about. I'm not here to diagnose your partner. I'm here to name abusive behavior, because if you're waiting for a label to give you permission to call it what it is, you'll stay stuck. Most domestic abusers, whether they are physical or not, are narcissistic. Doesn't matter. This isn't about personality disorders. It's about patterns of control and power. Now, if he's mistreating you and minimizing you and manipulating you, it's abuse. It's abuse. Full stop. Let's start with the truth. When an abusive man says, I'm trying, what he's usually trying to do is get you back under his control. He's not trying to treat you better. He's trying to stop you from walking out the door, right? That sudden burst of kindness every time you pull away, that's not growth. That's a shift in tactic. It's a reset of his little trap. He's doing just enough to keep you hooked and to make you doubt yourself, to make you second guess the decision you already made to walk away. Now, if he only acts decent and kind when you're slipping, that's not progress. You have to see this as a performance. Trying to be a good partner, that's consistently choosing empathy and accountability and honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. And I don't mean he says something really mean and goes, hey, it's the truth. My abuser used to do that. Abusers don't choose honesty. They just do enough just to sort of reset the whole cycle. They want to calm you down. They want to keep you. So once that threat of you leaving passes, that mask comes right off again, over and over and over. And here's what makes it extra confusing. Abusers are nice. Tell me this isn't the nicest guy you've ever met and also the meanest guy you've ever met. They're really nice, thoughtful and loving and charming. It's not your imagination. Those good moments, it's not proof that he's changing. It's part of the trap. It's not who he really is. It's called positive intermittent reinforcement. It literally has a name. It's when kindness and cruelty are mixed together. And that unpredictability, that's what makes it so addictive, right? You never know what you're going to get. So when you finally get that good version, it feels like, name it, relief, like hope. That's what keeps you stuck. Honestly, of course you remember the laughs and the good times, the sweetness, the inside jokes, the morning coffee. I know he cried when you said you were leaving, right? You said you were done and he's all bawling his eyes out, begging on the floor perhaps. Of course you wonder if that version is who he really is. But let me tell you, if he only ever shows up when that's convenient for him, when he's losing control, that's not love. It is a strategy. And here's the core of it, right? Control, it feels safer than connection for them. Healthy relationships require mutual vulnerability. That's not a goal for abusers. That's actually a threat. Vulnerability makes room for influence. Influence means compromise. There's a risk in that, right? Mutuality. They're not interested in that. They want dominance. So instead of regulating their own emotions, they'll try to regulate yours, right? You've heard all this. You're too emotional. I just can't talk to you when you're like this. You see, this is why I shut down. Why are you always bringing up old stuff? Why do you always want to argue? That's not emotional immaturity. We always take this down to oh, that's not a real man. He's just emotionally immature. That's a boy. That's a grown man. That's a tactic. And what he's really saying is, I don't feel powerful right now, and that makes me angry. His version of safe is when you're small, quiet, compliant. Control isn't the means to the end. It is the end. And here's something else. Being nice, it has no value to him unless it gets him what he wants. And you've seen this, the sudden gift, the grand gesture, the trip, the flowers, the text that's like, okay, I know I messed up. After a blow up, you're going to get a gift. And he acts like that's your cue to be grateful, to be affectionate. But the second you say, those flowers aren't enough, or you say something like, I still don't feel safe, watch, he snaps. Because he didn't do it for you, right? He did it to manipulate the outcome. He didn't get what he wants. He did it to get back in control. These guys want a gold star for basic decency. And decency is very hard for them. They want gold stars, balloons, and parades for not yelling for like 3 days, for being nice for a week, for doing the bare minimum. And when you're not clapping for something as minimal as that, you're the problem. That's when you get like, nothing I ever do is good enough for you, or oh, you're so impossible to please. The truth is, it's not that nothing is good enough. It's that the good isn't real and you know it. It's inconsistent. It's shallow. You see it as performative. You're not asking for perfection. And I know he tells you that you are. You're asking for safety. That's not too much. Now, here's the part that just really gets you, right? Sometimes that trying, it does feel like improvement. And you think, okay, wait, he's listening more. He's yelling less. Things are finally turning around. But I'm telling you, there's this part of you that still feels kind of uneasy or on edge, unsure if it's safe to bring things up. That's the part that we don't say out loud, right? He's trying and you still don't feel safe. Like, you're kind of still holding your breath, right? You're holding this weight of the relationship. And it's not because you're broken. It's because you absolutely know that his effort is not real. It's not something he's going to be able to keep doing. You know that this pattern is going to just fall apart. You know that it's not rooted in empathy. It's not motivated by you being safe and happy. It's just another tactic to keep you quiet and under control. He doesn't just want you to stay. He actually wants you to believe that he's good. That's why he says, I'm trying. It's why he wants credit for doing the absolute bare minimum. It's why he acts like he's the one being mistreated when you set a boundary. He wants to be the victim of your unfair expectations. An abuser doesn't just want power over your choices. They want power over your perception of him. Now, the kicker is that decency requires accountability, right? And that's one thing that these guys refuse. Accountability is the death of control. If he took responsibility, he'd have to give up the system that benefits him. He'd have to give up the double standards, the fear, all those resets. He would have to give up the ability to twist your words and silence what you know is true. And for men like this, it's not just difficult. It is unthinkable. So when you bring up how he hurts you, what happens? He redirects, he blames, he might cry, he shuts down, he uses anger. He says you're bringing up the past. He makes you the problem for noticing the impact of his abuse on you. That's not accountability. It's self-preservation. That's him protecting the role that he wants to keep playing. If you've ever heard things like, I'm not perfect, okay? Or something even worse like, you don't think I hate myself already? Why do you always have to ruin the moment? Kind of sounds like remorse. It's not. It's blackmail. That's him flipping the script so fast that you start comforting the person that hurt you. That's not him being accountable. That's him using pain as a shield. Trying without actual ownership is just manipulation, but it sounds nicer. And I know firsthand and with my clients how hard it is to admit what is actually happening because it's not all bad, right? I hear that constantly. He's not all bad. I know. You remember the laughs and, the pillow talk, and he held you one night when you were bawling your eyes out. You tell yourself that's the real him because that's the guy you met. That's the guy you fell in love with. So if you're more patient, if you say it the right way, that version will come back for good. But that version only exists when it benefits him. And you know it. You've seen it disappear the second that you cry, you speak up, you stop agreeing. You have watched him flip from tender to terrifying in seconds. He swears he didn't mean it. Then you start to wonder if you're the problem. You expect too much, right? Is love hard? All relationships are hard, right? That's how this guy keeps you. It's not with his fists. It's not even always with insults, right? It's just enough hope to make you stay and just enough pain to make you doubt your thoughts, yourself, all around. If this is what trying looks like, this isn't love. It's captivity. This is a trauma bond. So here's the truth, right? His effort doesn't even matter if it still hurts. If his kindness just vanishes the second you stand up for yourself, it's not kindness at all. It's a leash. If you feel scared to bring things up, if you're always walking on those friggin' eggshells we're always talking about, if his words say, I'm trying, but your gut is like, oh, I'm not safe, trust your gut. Stop measuring his effort. 80% of the time, he's good. Who cares? Start measuring the impact, because you deserve so much more than this little fleeting temporary effort. If you're ready to break this cycle, like for real this time, I want to help. Join my Trauma Bond recovery course, because I teach the break and rebuild method there. I also teach that method with Dr. Peter Salerno. We walk you through exactly how to rebuild inside our group coaching program, which is modeled from the self-paced course. If you're just tired of I'm trying and you're ready for real peace, this is where you start. Drop a comment if this hits home. Tell me what you've heard and hit subscribe so you never miss a moment of clarity.